Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, we have got some mod updates. Now, over the last 2 weeks, I have been busy updating some mods to 1.21.9, which obviously is the most recent update for Minecraft. Now, before I jump to what mods have been updated, let me quickly just explain my main goal with updating. Normally, I do each mod one at a time, but this time I'm doing them in groups just because it's a lot easier, and it means that when we update one, it then means that you guys can mess around with multiple mods in the new update. Now, before we jump to what mods have been updated, let me quickly just say, the first thing I want to focus when all these mods are released is making sure they are on CurseForge and also Modrinth. Modrinth has kind of been forgotten, and that is just because I don't like using Modrinth, but I know a lot of you guys do. So at the time of this video going live, I am hoping that every mod I showcase in this video will be out for CurseForge and Modrinth. And one thing I do want to do going forward is make sure we are consistent with uploading versions to CurseForge and Modrinth at the same time, so everyone can enjoy the mods as soon as they release. Now, we have got quite a few mods updated. I think we have got about 5 updated to 1.21.9. The other mods that haven't been updated, they will be coming in the future, but there is a reason why, and I'll jump to that at the end of the video. The first mod that we have updated is Trails and Tales Plus, which obviously is the 1.20 plus mod, which expands upon the Trails and Tales update. Now you can see some of the features it adds right here. We did recently do a revamp for this mod, I think for 1.21.6. So that revamp version is now available for 1.21.9. So you can mess around with all of these features with copper golems. That does also include the sniffle, which is a smaller version of the sniffer. And that does also include things like potion shelves, smithing template shelves, banner pattern shelves, and also music disc shelves. So that's the first mod that you can now mess around with copper golems. The next mod is Gardens Awakens Plus. Once again, this is a mod that expands upon the 1.21.4 update, which added the Pale Garden. And this mod adds things like fog in the Pale Garden. It also adds some new mobs, like some pale versions for the hostile mobs like the skeleton and the zombie. It does also add creepers and spiders. It also adds a brown version of resin, which is dried resin. And there are a lot of other features within this mod as well, which you can see right here. With once again, one of my favourite features in this mod being the Ancient Sprite, which is a mob that you can trade with. At night time, it will wake up and you can give it a creaking heart for it to give you a random item in return. This is one of the best mobs we have ever worked on, and I still think that to this day. And it gave us one of the new banner patterns. Also the fog within this biome, let's not forget about that, because that is something a lot of people wanted, and this mod obviously makes that happen. It also does add an accessibility setting where you can disable this if you don't like the fog, which you can now see with that setting disabled. Upon entering this biome, I am granted no fog. Now the third mod we have updated to 1.21.9 is the Mooblooms mod. The Moobloom is a cow variant that spawns with flowers on its back, and it spawns with flowers depending on the biome. For example, the meadows and flower forest have a chance to spawn with pretty much every flower that is 1 block tall. There are also some rare variants like the Pale Eye variant for the Pale Garden. Now, one thing to note, the Pale Garden variant will not spawn naturally. That is something we got a lot of comments about. And it doesn't spawn naturally. The only way to get it is by taking 2 Mooblooms to this biome and breeding them. But if you also spawn one in here in creative mode, you can see that is what it looks like right here. Now there is also a day and night one, so upon spawning one at night time, you can see it appears with the open version. There are also a lot of other rare variants, like taking some to the swamps and also some nether biomes. But one of the coolest things about this mod is that we have data-driven variants, so you can add your own variants of Mooblooms for any block in the game you would like. I will have a example data pack linked in the description if that is something you want to mess around with. Now, the next mod that we have updated is the Badgers mod. This just adds the one mob, and it is the Badgers from Minecraft Legends. Now, they spawn inside of forest-like biomes, and one thing we have fixed in this version, this will also be in 1.21.8. We do plan to release another version for 1.21.4 up to 1.21.6, which also does this, but the badgers will no longer spawn in the Pale Garden, as that was a bug which we have now patched out. because obviously no passive mob spawns there, so it doesn't really make sense for the badgers to spawn there. Now the badgers obviously look like this. They can also be bred and they do have custom sounds, and they will randomly dig up items like the sniffer. The items they dig up are a lot more renewable, being things like wood, bundles, leads, bones, skeleton skulls, and a lot more. And the final mod we have updated to 1.21.9 is MoVillagers. Now MoVillagers adds a lot of new villager professions to the game, one of them being the engineer, and the engineer is the only trader in this update that has some new trades for 1.21.9. Now this mod does also add a trader's book, which you can see right here, and this book you can crouch click on any villager to lock that villager profession to the book. And upon opening this, it will show you every single possible trade that villager can trade. So for example, right here, you can see all the possible trades the engineer can have for level 1 up to level 5. Now the new trades in this update come in level 4, which is expert, and they can now trade the wooden shelves, the copper chests, and also the copper golem statues. And you can see the prices and the amounts are also shown within the book. And this works with any of the villager professions. So let's quickly just spawn a few more. It should also work with custom professions added by other mods and also the ones added by vanilla. So if we now do another one which is added by this mod, and you can see once again all the trades are shown. Let's quickly just show one for vanilla. So let's quickly just grab a farmer, which is a composter, and you can see that if I right click on the farmer, it does also show the trades the farmer has. This book is definitely something that is very useful, and it makes seeing trades a lot easier without having to use Google or the Minecraft wiki. Now, that is all 5 mods we have updated for the Copper Age update. You can now mess around with all of these mods, as well as the copper golems and copper statues. Now let's quickly talk about some of the other mods we haven't updated and why that is. The first thing, Spring to Life Plus has already been updated to this new version. So that takes the total mods updated to this version up to 6. But now let's talk about why we haven't updated some of the others. Some of the others being the Slammer mod, the backpacks, the booklet, and Tricky Trials Plus. And that is because we have updates planned for most of them. The booklet mod, we currently have a revamp for the GUI. Tricky Trials Plus, we are currently working on a complete revamp for that mod to make it a lot more polished. For Glide the Globe, we have a update currently in the works, and the Slammer mod, we also have a future update planned, which we want to get out before we update it to newer versions. And then the Backpacks mod, I want to polish up a bit more because there are a lot of bugs with it. So that is why they haven't been updated. Now, as soon as we have them updates ready, we will release them for this version as well as any other versions we have missed. But that is a quick little update on why we only have these mods updated. It's because these mods are pretty much complete and ready for all future versions. Now, if you do find any bugs, make sure to report them within my Discord, because Minecraft did change a lot in 1.21.9, which did break a lot of rendering for block entities, particles, and also entities. But once again, these 5 mods are now available for you to go and play in the Copper Age update. I will also be updating the Belgify mod pack in the future once we have all the mods updated to this version. But anyway, that's where I'm going to end this video. I want to keep it pretty short. But anyway, I'll see you guys in another one very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.